Hello and thank you for clicking on this Destiny 2 Solar Hunter video. In this video I'm going to be showing you two builds for the Hunter. One is going to be a grenade spam build which you can use for any game content in Destiny 2, and the second is going to be for dealing high damage in raids for raid bosses. Now for the first build, the grenade spam build, this is a very simple build to use. We are simply going to be throwing our grenade as much as we can. When our grenade is on cooldown, we're going to be using our powered melee attack to get our grenade back. When both of them are empty, we are going to be using our dodge to get our melee back, which will get our grenade back. Another thing to keep in mind is when we cause ignitions, which we are going to be getting a lot of because we're going to be applying a lot of Scorch, that is also going to get our grenade back. So for this gameplay loop, we are going to be throwing our grenade, we are going to be throwing our powered melee, we're going to get our grenade back, it's going to ignite, we're going to throw our grenade again, we are then going to dodge, throw our melee, grenade back again, grenade back again. Now that was 5 or 6 grenades in a couple seconds, all on one target. Now most enemies in the game will not need the 5 or 6 grenades. But for bosses, yeah, you can get away with throwing your 5 or 6 grenades all on them and pummeling them. Most enemies will just take a short variation of this loop, but that is the loop of the gameplay we are doing. In terms of the build, our exotic item is the young Ahamkara's spine. This increases our tripmine grenade duration and blast radius, and increases the damage, and we also get energy back on our grenade when we use it. So essentially we just overpower our tripmine grenade and get charge back when we use it. In terms of the subclass, it's going to be a pure solar build because this is what a lot of people were asking for on the previous video. In terms of the super, we're going for Blade Barrage. It's good for hitting single targets, it's good for clearing a room of adds. For the dodge, Gambler's Dodge, so we can get our melee back, jump whatever you go for. In terms of our powered melee, Knife Trick is the best, because in this we get 3 knives. Each blade we hit will give us 33% of our grenade back. So us having 3 of these just means if we hit all 3 knives, we are then going to get our grenade back no matter what. For our grenade, Tripmine Grenade, as recommended through the exotic item. For our aspects, we've got On Your Mark. This is activating your class ability or getting precision final blows, will grant us and nearby allies increased weapon handling and reload speed for a short duration. This will also give us Radiant, which will make our weapon stronger. For our second aspect, we've got Knock 'em Down. This is going to enhance our super, and it's also going to make our throwing knife fully refund our melee energy when we use it. So for example, on a smaller target, if we were to hit them with all 3 blades and kill them, we would then get our melee back. For our fragments, the first fragment I've got is Ember of Singerin. Your class ability recharges faster when we scorch targets. We're going to be scorching a lot of targets because we're going to be using our grenade, which causes scorch, our knives, which cause scorch, and our weapons, which we will also be using to cause scorch. Next, Ember of Blistering. Defeating targets with solar ignitions gives us grenade energy. It's a grenade build. Ember of Torches, powered melee attacks against combatants makes us Radiant, so just hitting something with our powered melee is going to give us Radiant, which is going to give us more damage to our weapons. Ember of Resolve, solar grenade final blows will cure us, so if we're using our solar grenade on smaller targets like mages or just adds, we're going to get cured. For our final one, Ember of Eruption, our solar ignitions have an increased area of effect. Bigger explosions, more damage, more explosions. In terms of weapons, the best weapon I would recommend is the Sunshot Hand Cannon. This is just going to ignite stuff, it's going to cause Scorch, and it's an easy weapon to obtain. For the primary, you can go for whatever you want. I personally use a Scout Rifle. This is so then we can go against the anti-barrier champions. It's also equipped with Firefly, which will do something similar to the Sunshot. To reiterate on the Sunshot is also going to deal with the unstoppable champions due to the artifact we are running. And then for the heavy, I would recommend a solar rocket launcher. This is a personal preference of mine, the Apex Predator. In terms of stats, we are going for heavy grenade on the stats. This is because we're going to get more grenade damage against enemies, and we're also going to get the grenade back quicker. In terms of other stats, just go for whatever you prefer. Probably some in health, probably some in class. But again, grenade is what we are going for mainly. Get this as high as you can, and then the other stats, just do what you can to them as you would prefer. In terms of the artifact, first column, go for whatever you want. This is just for dealing with champions. Second column, I recommend the top two. It's for armor and mods. Again, you can go for the bottom one if you would be using a scout rifle. For the second column, Fever and Chill, rapid precision hits with solar weapons will give us Radiant. It's a solar build, we're going to be using solar weapons, we will get Radiant, that's 25% more damage. And then for the second one in here, you can use pretty much whatever you want. You could use a sidearm one if you are going to be using sidearms, or the second one if that works for your build better. For the third column, I recommend Cauterized Darkness. Just if our teammates end up using Stasis or Dark debuffing an enemy, our solar build is going to deal more damage. For the second one, I recommend Shoulder to Shoulder, especially for raids. Dealing sustained precision damage will give us more damage resistance when stood near allies. For the final column, I recommend Radiant Shrapnel. This is a solar build. This just means when we defeat Scorch combatants with a weapon, they're going to release loads of solar projectiles about, which will scorch targets and blow them up. This is just going to help with ads, it's going to help with boss damage if they're surrounded by ads. It's a solar build, this is the solar perk. For the final one on this column, I recommend Shield Crush. We are going to be Radiant 99% of the time. This is going to make our grenade recharge faster and deal increased damage. Again, it's a grenade build, it's a no-brainer. Now in terms of the end game and just general content build, this is pretty much it. Just follow everything here. Young Ahamkara's spine and a grenade build is just insane. You're just going to get your grenade back instantly. It does everything you would need it to. Another important piece before I forget about it is your melee. You want to get as close to 70 as you can, as when it's close to 70 it means that when we do dodge we're going to get most, or if we're above 70, all of our powered melee back. That is an important thing to remember. Get your grenade up as much as you can. Your melee should be as close to 70 or just above 70 as you can, and then the other stats are personal preference. Now for the second build of this video, also a pure solar build. This is for raids, for dealing high damage in raids, for carrying your own weight in raids. It's what I use for raids, and I am never the bottom of the leaderboard, I'm always somewhere at the top in terms of damage. Now for your primary weapon, you can use whatever. I'll start off by explaining the exotic. The exotic we will be using is the Celestial Nighthawk. This is going to make our golden gun fire one shot but deal insane damage. And that's pretty much all the Celestial Nighthawk is. Your Golden Gun is one shot, insane damage. In terms of the subclass, we're going for the Golden Gun Marksman variation. For dodge, you can use whatever. Melee, I recommend Knife Trick, so then we can get Radiant quicker. And Radiant does affect Golden Gun, so make sure you are Radiant before using Golden Gun to get increased damage to it. For Grenade, again, whatever grenade. Aspects, honestly, for the first aspect, you can use whatever you want. This is what I would recommend though, on your mark again. And again, knock them down. This is going to enhance our super ability. In terms of fragments, I've got whenever you revive an ally, you and other nearby allies gain restoration. During DPS phases, someone may slip up, they may die. You reviving them is going to give your whole team restoration and it's going to benefit everyone. For our second, we've got Ember of Beams. Our super solar projectiles have stronger target acquisition. This is helpful and also gives us plus 10 super stat. We've then got Ember of Torches. Powered melee attacks against combatants makes you and nearby allies radiant. Well, if we can throw our powered melee at something, say an ad or the boss, before dealing DPS phase, we will then be radiant in it, as well as our allies, meaning we deal more damage, our allies deal more damage. Next, I've got Solar Grenade Final Blows Cure You. Now, in terms of fragments, there's not loads to do with boss DPS, hence why these last two are a bit of a rogue shout, but nonetheless, they're still helpful. Solar Grenade Final Blows will cure you. Let's say you're doing Oryx, there's an ad nearby, just throw a grenade, get the kill, you're cured. Your health will be better. Also, during boss fights, it's not just a boss DPS melt, there's also ads beforehand, mechanics beforehand. This is just going to help with the survivability beforehand, so the prep phase to get into the DPS phase. For the final, we have the Ember of Wonder. Rapidly defeating multiple targets with solar ignitions. It's a solar build. Will generate orbs of power, and then our mods are going to be co-assigned with our orbs of power. Also gives us plus 10 health. Again, this is for that prep phase of before we get to the DPS phase. In terms of weapons, again, every boss fight is different. So you may end up doing Oryx, in which Still Hunt is a good shout for it, because he's in one location, it's one correct spot, it's easy to melt him down. There may be other times when it's a moving target, so you may have to swap to the Sleeper Simulant, you could use the Whisper of the Worm, it might be something where you have to use a completely different weapon altogether. Every boss fight changes, so whatever is the best thing for your boss fight, use that as your exotic weapon. A boss fight which is stood still, snipers are a good shout, Still Hunt, Whisper of the Worm. One where the boss is going to be moving about, Sleeper Simulant, it's easy to sort of swap where your focus is during a fight. Or a rocket launcher is also a good shout. Now, in terms of what I would use for a still boss, I would end up using Still Hunt. It co-aligns with our Celestial Nighthawk, our Golden Gun, and we'd have a rocket launcher as well on the side. In terms of stats, we are going as far as we can into our super stat, because we want to deal as much damage as we can. The main part of this build is our super and our super damage. And then for perks, pretty much I run the same as the just standard build. There's no real big change there. In terms of the damage you will be doing with a build like this, we would want to be radiant before we use our golden gun. So if you can find something to hit with a powered melee or just somehow to radiate yourself, do it. We then use our golden gun to do insane damage. We then pull out the sniper, we activate the ultimate on the sniper, we then get more shots on with the sniper, We then swap to our rocket launcher, use that, back to the sniper, and so on and so on. The most crucial part is getting Radiant before you use your golden gun. As you can see, we did, what was it, 15k because we were Radiant. Now if we use it without, we've got 12k. That's 2.5k difference just because we got Radiant beforehand. In terms of mods, these are the mods I would recommend. I've not upgraded all my pieces yet, but I can still walk you through it. For the headgear, we're going to be using Solar Siphon. Gives us Orbs of Power. It's a solar build. And then I've got the Heavy Ammo Finder. This is to give us more heavy ammo for them boss fights where it's multiple phases. You've used all your heavy ammo in the first phase, you need more for the second. In terms of our arms, honestly, it doesn't really matter, just whatever here. In terms of our chest piece, just whatever you're playing against, change your damage reduction mods to what fits your raid you're doing. For the legs, I would have as many solar weapon surges as you can. This is going to mean our solar weapons do more damage. That includes our solar rocket launcher, our solar heavy we'll be using. Whatever we're using, it will deal more damage. And for the bottom row, I have time dilation. These are armor charge ones, because up here, our armor charges are going to give us a bonus to our super stat. So if we can get as many armor charges as we can before going in, it's a stronger super, it's more damage. I have just remembered I did not show you the mods for the previous build, so I'm going to show that now. That is my bad. For the headgear, we have the solar siphons again. For the final one, you can put super on here, or you can just rock 3 solar siphons. It's entirely up to you. For the arms, I'm rocking blister and detonation. Grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a grenade. Our class ability is going to refresh our melee ability, and we're going to get our class ability a lot quicker than we would our melee. So we're going to focus our class ability for regen time. Hence why we were rocking 3 of these. For our damage resistances, again, whatever activity you're in, change them. For our legs, Orbs of Power will give us health. This helps with survivability, and then reduces your class ability when we pick up Orbs of Power for the final 2. Again, our class ability is going to be back before our melee ability, so we are focusing that to be as efficient as we can. Sorry that I didn't show that with the first section of showing that build. That's completely my bad. Now, those are the 2 builds for a purely solar hunter. You've got the first one, which is going to be for all your endgame content, your late game content, just any content. The first build is going to be more than capable of dealing with anything that's thrown in your way. And then for raids, you've got this build, which is going to deal insane damage. You're not going to be bottom of the raid damage table. You won't be the dead weight. You'll be more than carrying your own weight and dealing more than enough damage for people to be impressed. I hope this video helped. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any other builds you want to see me do or want to know about, just let me know down below and I will get to as many as I can. Thank you very much.